I think you know the drill by now. Here we go. Another late night session. Just finished coaching, so gotta get it in when you can. On the agenda for today, bench press. It's been a while since I've hit heavy bench, so my goal was to work up to anywhere from 3 to 5 reps. I think, looking and thinking back on it, I think I ended up hitting triples, just working up to a heavy weight. Here I'm just warming up, focusing on my technique. That was 75 pounds. This is 105, I think. Yeah, 105. I tend to bench quite narrow, kind of keeping the elbows tight to the side. Knees are still cranky. So I'm really feeling good that I'm able to hit a pretty good session. I really went pretty hard tonight when I wasn't really feeling it. And given that I'm taking off of, there's so many movements that I just don't want to do right now, simply because a couple of days ago I hit you saw it, that heavy squat without any knee wraps, knee sleeves, anything like that. And ever since then, my lower quad, kind of that, I don't know if it's VMO or just my, my insertion point that wraps around my patella has been really spicy. So I don't want to do a lot of lower body stuff, meaning no lunging, no jumping. I don't want any impact on it. No squats for sure. So no, not even air squats. They've been bugging me a little bit. So I'm going to give it a few more days to rest before I do any squatty stuff. But then I've had that lingering bicep issue for quite some time, a good few months. So I can't really do any pulls. Now, when I say I can do many of these things, but I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing to listen to the body while still figuring out how I can hit it pretty hard. I may go for a long run tomorrow because I don't think that's going to bother my quad too much. And that's a good way that I know I can get in really productive work. You know, the interesting thing is with my quad hurting and my bicep, I can't do a lot of my go-tos, which is my heavy strength training like back squats and deadlifts. And it's forcing me to think outside the box and really attack a lot of my weaknesses. And also moving forward as I start putting some programming down on paper. So I have a bit more structure, a bit more of a plan. The injuries or the little crankiness of my quad and knees right now and my bicep is reminding me that I also need to put in some assistance work, right? I need to work on various things that help with, whether it's the big movers that would help take some of the load off of the bicep and off of the knees, or I just need to work on stability stuff and kind of durability training, I think is what I've seen it called. So now we're starting to really climb up a little bit. I think we're at, let's see, 185, 195. That was just 205. And now I'm going to go to 225. And by this point, I'm just pushing triples. So I think I only have one more set after this. So this is going to be 225 pounds for 3. And then I'll do a set at 245. After this set here, you may notice on the bar speed, if you watch, I wasn't confident I was going to be able to go up. I think when I lay down, I said, let me go for 6. And then I only went for 3 just to keep it safe. Notice I don't have anyone spotting me. So I thought, all right, I'll rack it after 3 and then I'll hit another 3 reps after for a total of 6. But I just called it there and I said, you know what? I know I was off with my technique on this. You'll see it on one of these reps. Let's see here. That one looked good. I think that one right there, I started to get a little sideways. And that 225 felt grindy. So I thought, all right, let's not do the 6. But then I said, the hell with it. Clean up my technique a little bit. This is now 245, and this is my final and heaviest set for the day. So I'm pretty happy with this. I haven't pushed up to this weight in a little while. So I'm definitely treading new territory in these, 13, 14 videos here. When I say new territory, some new territory territory I have not been to in a year or two, with getting up to some pretty heavy squats. Here I'm getting up to some pretty heavy bench. Now, are these lifetime PRs? Not even close, but I'm pretty happy with it. I was very happy with this. Now what I did is I decided to, that's what you could see, celebrating. Because of the way that 225 felt, I just wasn't sure I was going to get 260 or 245 for a triple. So then I decided to do 50 push-ups. I think I cranked out maybe 15, took a short rest, quickly jumped into another 5, so I got to like 20, and then I just started piecing it, 5 at a time, 4 at a time, 3 at a time, whatever, until I got to 50 reps. I think I'll speed up the camera here just a little bit, or the editing or whatever, so I don't have to bore you. It was a few minutes. I can probably push for a good set of 40 straight, but I want to just stay nice and strict, squeezing my quads, getting full range of motion. That's just, I forget what they're called. They're like little exercise bars that you can use. You'll see me use, I have 2 of them. When you buy them in a pair. So I just lean this one on the floor, and it just helps to, kind of like push-up handles would do. This keeps my my wrists in a neutral position. It's just friendlier on the wrist. And then I get good range of motion because I'm able to, that was me just popping my back. I'm able to almost pass, my chest can go past the floor, basically. If you're doing regular push-ups on the floor, old school, normal, military style, you may notice that your chest will hit the floor, right? Where if you can get up on a raised, elevated surface a little bit, like I'm doing there, where there's that slight slant, then I can get a little bit lower than even ground level, so to speak. So just taking the last few minutes or seconds of rest. This is all real time. It's not sped up too much. Let's see. Yeah, no, this is back to real time. I think I'm about reaching the finish point here. And then what I do, I never do push-ups wide, with wide arms. I'm always really tricep dominant. You'll notice my elbows right along my sides. So I do, I think, a set of 10 wide push-ups, which felt pretty good. They felt okay. I think that's something I want to start working on, is hitting sort of multiple angles. And those are the sorts of things that I think can help stave off the issues I've been having with like my knees and my biceps, right? Of not neglecting different angles, different ranges of motion. So I'm going to take a quick, I have like a little frozen protein shake here. There, right there, I'm testing it out. You'll notice my elbows flare out a lot more than those push-ups I was just doing. But I only did 10. This is not a friendly position for me. I really feel a lot more strain on my shoulders. But that's kind of the point. That's sort of intended. Yeah, like I said, I'm only doing 10 of these. It's like, imagine you're in the squat rack, right? And you're back squatting. And you just squat. But I think you saw one video where I was sitting down to that little 6-inch box. I may do another squat video where I'm not wearing any shoes at all, socks or barefoot. And then I'm going to be narrow stance to the point where like my ankles, what do you call the bone on the inside of your ankle? Where those bones are touching, basically feet together, and squat that way, right? That's not a powerlifting squat. That's not an Olympic weightlifting squat. That's not a bodybuilding squat necessarily. Maybe bodybuilding because you're working different areas of the muscle. But with something like that, why would I work that angle where that's not your typical squat width? Is simply so I can work on other angles, so I can work on other muscles that might be neglected. So that's why I did those push-ups wide afterwards. Here's those, kind of what the bars are designed for. I'm just doing some rows. With your knees bent like that, you're taking a lot of the load off. You're not really loading all of your legs. If the further you extend your legs here, where you're just kind of on your heels, you're going to put a lot more weight. I think I only did about 20 of these, taking a little break. Not because I just feel like it. I have to take a break. I'm neglecting this motion. Now, you may be wondering, isn't that pulling on the bicep a lot? Yeah, there's quite a bit of bicep in here, but this felt good. So that's another sort of lesson learned, is you can avoid things when you're injured. Like I said, I don't want to do a lot of my quads because I feel like the bottom of my quad is hurting from that squat that I did the other day. And I don't want to do a lot of pulling on my bicep But you need to strengthen those things. So try some ranges of motion, try some movements. And if they feel okay, you're going to strengthen them. The enemy of being injured is, when you get hurt, you stop doing things. And then you're never going to strengthen it. So you're just going to get yourself susceptible to being hurt again. But anyway, that's my session. I'll see you guys next time.